You're watching Indian Dialogues. Namaskar, I am Ajay Kumar. Come February the 1st, all eyes are locked on to the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman, making this year's interim budget her sixth in a row budget speech. The Finance Minister virtually declared the certainty of Modi government's third term. The detailed budget in July will have all the policy directions and announcements. She said that on the floor of the House. A marked departure from the former Finance Minister Piyush Goel's interim budget, which was presented in 2019. Please remember, in 2019, the annual dole of 6,000 rupees to small farmers was announced, which exacted a toll of 75,000 crores on the exchequer. Income tax rebates were extended to 5 lakh rupees and the middle class got an incentive of 10,000 rupees as saving in terms of standard deduction limit being raised. In a marked departure, no changes in the income tax department this time. No changes in direct tax genre, none in the indirect tax category as well. No major announcements except two innovative announcements. First, vaccination for girls in the age bracket of 9 to 14 years to prevent cervical cancer amongst women, and construction of 2 crore houses for the middle class who lives in rented accommodations in slums and chawls. The resounding success of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has finally seen the light of the day for the urban lower middle class today. Mind you, this forms a captive voter base for majority political parties, and they form the bedrock of BJP vote catchment areas as well. So how shall we assess the economic outlook? If the projections touted by the government are to be believed, we need to first clear our minds and realize that not many counter claims can be made against the government claims which are being put out today. Because real changes have taken place over the past 10 years. Money is being spent on the underprivileged classes and it is actually reaching them. The direct benefit transfers, DBT, is happening to the tune of 34 lakh crores and has reached the targeted beneficiaries over the past 10 years. And this has led to a saving of 2.7 lakh crores, a huge sum of money that could have been siphoned off under normal circumstances were Jan Dhan accounts not linked with Aadhaar numbers and mobile numbers. This is serious money that has been saved. It's no more the Congress plea. आटे में घुन के बराबर की चोरी होती रहती है भाई. अगर 34 लाख करोड़ जनता के बीच बांटने हैं तो 3-4 लाख करोड़ तो बीच वाले खा ही लेंगे. This is just the usual banter that we used to hear 10 years ago. Just as Rajiv Gandhi had once said that the center sends 1 rupee from Delhi and the beneficiary in the state gets 15 paisa out of it. Look at the DBT figures. They explain everything by themselves. 5.52 lakh crores through DBT transfer in the financial year 2022. 6.3 lakh crores DBT transfer amount in 2023. And a proposed 7.16 lakh crore via DBT transfers to beneficiaries in the financial year 2024. These are mind-boggling figures. If we look at the direct subsidy given to the poorer sections, it has seen an increase in volume but marked reduction when we take a ratio of the transfer or the subsidy vis-a-vis the GDP. Let's have a look. 2.88 lakh crore as subsidy in 2022, which amounted to 1.23% of India's GDP. 2.87 lakh crore in 2023. This amounted to 1.05% of the GDP. And a proposed subsidy of 1.98 lakh crores in 2024, which shall amount to a meager 0.67% of the projected GDP. Over the past 3 years, the government has spent close to 3,421 crores in 2022, 9,171 crores in 2023, and a proposed spend of 2,257 crores in financial year 2024 on Ujjwala scheme, which is the free LPG connection in villages, especially where homes who do not have cooking gas available with them. Let's look at the Make in India project, which is the emphasis of Narendra Modi's government. The opposition has always cracked so many wise ones when it comes to Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, and Stand Up India. Do you remember the banter from the Congress party and their spokespersons? The PLI scheme, which has made its debut under the Make in India concept, has had up till now 747 applicants. This in itself explains the story. It has secured an investment of 1.03 lakh crore, provided direct or indirect employment to the tune of 6.78 lakh jobs, and an export from India worth 3.20 lakh crores. Yeah, 3,20,000 crore has been export only out of PLI schemes under Make in India project. Now these are serious numbers, but not noticed or valued by the so esteemed opposition. You'll never hear about these numbers. What the opposition harps upon is the disinvestment target of the government and how it has failed to disinvest. Now, is disinvestment just the right policy? Maybe it is. After all, the Vajpayee government initiated an entire ministry for disinvestment. Manmohan Singh government also laid a lot of emphasis on disinvestment, never met its target. Same is the story with Modi government. For 2020, the disinvestment target for the Modi government was 1.05 lakh crore. The actual disinvestment could take place for only 50,000 crore. In 2021, the target was 2.1 lakh crore. The real achievement was 37,897 crores. In the year 2022, the disinvestment target was 1.75 lakh crores. But then the figures which came about really were shameful. 13,627 crores. For the year 2023, the target was reduced to 65,000 crores. The actualization of disinvestment was 35,294 crores. But the worst performance is pegged for the financial year 2024, where the target was further reduced to 51,000 crores, but the real figure is estimated to be 12,504 crores. So yes, when it comes to disinvestment of PSUs, Modi government has really fallen flat on its face. But has it been basically because of the inefficiency of the government? Or is it because the political and social climate within the country has been so badly vitiated by the opposition parties that the government is unable to move ahead on its process of disinvestment of PSUs? The moment Modi talked about HAL, there was a hullabaloo and a cry. The moment Modi talks about disinvesting any public sector bank, the entire banking staff goes on a strike. You talk about restructuring the agricultural sector, and the whole country is brought to a standstill for 1 year by agitating farmers. These are not conducive environments for changes or policy changes. But then the government has a different spin to this, and let's see that as well. The government claims that corona pandemic hit India in 2020, and that was a massive jolt to not just the Indian economy, but the world economy. And we are still recovering out of it. And to further point it out to the opposition that maybe the government did not attain the disinvestment figures, but the government did manage to make India a very attractive destination for foreign direct investment, and especially when it is compared with the 10 years of Manmohan Singh's government. The FDI figure stood for 10 years between 2004 to 2014, when Manmohan Singh government was in power, to $304 billion. It currently stands over the past 10 years at $612 billion. Now that's double the amount that UPA secured as FDI. Clearly, India today is a much attractive destination to invest when compared to Manmohan Singh's India. BJP claims that the size of the economy has nearly doubled. Approximately it is $3.7 trillion economy, $2 trillion economy at the end of 2014. From the 15th economy of the world in 2013-14, India today is the 5th largest economy in the world and is aiming to be the 3rd largest by 2027. As an innovator and disruptor, India adopted to digital transactions like never before, especially after Corona pandemic. By December 2023, you'll be surprised to know that Indians are conducting business worth $18 billion via UPI transactions. It is an unheard of figure across the world, even in the West. Inflation, as per the government, is under control. It's nearly half of what it stood at during Manmohan Singh's tenure. The price of petrol and various other petroleum products were at its peak in 2012-13. Now it's much lower, but still the real prices paid by the public is not reduced much. Yeah, the prices have actually gone up when compared to Manmohan Singh's government, but then the money hence generated is being spent for the betterment of people, is the claim of Modi government. And then comes the sticky point of unemployment, because the opposition constantly badgers the Modi government that unemployed youth is increasing tremendously. There are no jobs. So this is the data which the government ascribes to. The government says that unemployment has constantly been decreasing post 2017. It is stood at 6.1% in 2017 and is currently at 3.2%. This data, however, is muddled because there are various claims and counterclaims about it. And in reality, let's face it, India is plagued by the unemployment crisis. So are a number of countries across the world. So the fact of matter is, not much can be faulted with opposition when it comes to employment generation. But then again, a bigger question is, are governments duty bound to create employment? How many government jobs can be doled out? And supposedly, if the 40 lakh government jobs in central government agencies and the state governments are filled in, who will end up paying the money? It will be the taxpayers' money. So isn't it better that the industry shapes up, industrialization, manufacturing picks up, and therefore jobs come by the way? That's what the Modi government has been focusing on. So this brings us to a conclusion. Is the Modi government today more boisterous because it has come out with an interim budget which is way different from interim budgets presented earlier, be it 2004, 2009, 2014, even 2019? Is it because the current government knows that economically it has been doing well, it has done well, the country has progressed, and armed with the imagery of Hindu Hriday Samrat vis-a-vis the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha, is the buoyancy being seen in Finance Ministry's interim budget, where no curries, no favors, no doles have been pushed out, and that the Finance Minister believes that broader policy initiatives and decisions would be unveiled in July 2024. Is this not symptomatic of a confident, resurgent, sure-footed Modi government which believes the third term is more of its right? An assertion not very far away from the groundswell.